Hello, I'm BMillzebub. Welcome to my channel if you're new to the channel, or welcome back if you've been this way before. I want to sort of discuss Pascal's wager today, not really the wager itself, but a claim regularly made by people who bring up the wager in a discussion or debate. That being, if you believe and you're wrong, you lose nothing. But if you don't believe and you're wrong, you lose everything. I'm going to break down just a few ways this is objectively wrong and ultimately harmful to everyone involved.
And if you ask me, our days are numbered, falling one by one. It seems to me somewhere we blunder with my faith and trust.
How can you say that this part of the wager is objectively wrong, I hear some of you asking? Well, I want you to consider the following. The first thing is financial loss. If you tithe like a good religious person and you do it at the 10% of your income that the Bible requires, or I don't know, whatever tithe some other religion has, you know, let's do some quick math. Actually, let's just do that. So let's say you earn $30,000 a year. That's not a lot of money, but for simplicity, let's keep it kind of low. Bear in mind that your tithe is 10% of your total income, not 10% of whatever's left of your income after necessities like food, shelter, bills, etc. The annual amount of money you tithe at $30,000 is $3,000. Think of all the things you could do in a year with $3,000. You could take a vacation somewhere nice, pay down some of your debts, or slowly spend it over the year by buying creature comforts. Hi there, Future Bub here. I forgot to total out the lifetime amount that you spend. I'm about to bring up in my next point the amount of time your average American lives, which is 77 years. So you take that $3,000 a year and multiply it by that 77 years, and you get $231,000. Think of how many vacations that is. Think of the inheritance you could leave your children. I mean, there's just so much you can do with that money, and I had to add this extra context in because otherwise it would just sound trivial. But no, 77 years, $3,000 a year, $231,000 over the course of an average human lifetime in America. Let's get back to the show. I would personally call that harm being done by believing and following the commands of said belief. But hey, what do I know? How about the amount of time in your life that's dedicated to religion? Let's say you're a good Christian and go to church every Sunday. That's at least 1 hour of your week dedicated solely to religious devotion, not to mention the nightmare of getting in and out of the parking lot. So let's say an hour and a half just on a Sunday. Let's do some more quick math. A quick Google search will show that the average American lifespan is 77.28 years, but I'm going to simplify that down to 77. What can I say? I don't like math very much, and I want this to be as digestible as possible for everyone. There are 52 weeks in a year, so an hour and a half devoted just to church on a Sunday adds up to 78 hours in just 1 year. But people live longer than just 1 year. Like Google said, Americans live an average of 77. So 78 hours a year times 77 years gives you 6,006 hours devoted just to going to church on a Sunday and leaving the parking lot when it's over. To put that into perspective, that's 250 and 1/4 days over the course of your lifetime. But many Christians also do a Bible study at some point during the week. That's easily another hour dedicated to religious devotion. Let's assume you're a devoted Christian and do a Bible study once every other week, every year. That's an extra 26 hours each year given to your religious practice. Adding that to the 6,006 pre-existing hours, giving you 6,032 hours or 251 days and 1/3 of a day to your 77 years on that planet. We're talking about almost a full year. Does that sound like nothing to you? Oh, and let's not forget about the extra time in a day you spend praying, whether it's before a meal, sporting event, or if you say pray the rosary every single day. That's even more time you spend on religious belief that I'm not going to bother calculating in because so much is already being lost. Time you could spend getting an extra bit of sleep, doing something you enjoy, like woodworking, some other craft, reading a book, or just vegetating in front of the TV. The amount of time lost to religion is not insignificant. This is something you miss out on because of the amount of time religion takes up, and that's something I would consider to be harmful. Now we're moving on to a more direct harm that isn't as slow as giving money or time to a religion, and that's hatred. Hatred of the LGBT community. In more extreme cases, people who have a hatred of people who aren't white. Hatred of people who aren't a member of your in-group. All I have to say to prove this point is a few names. Matt Powell, Greg Locke, Jesse Lee Peterson, and actually the list goes on for quite some time. If you listen to these people and accept what they teach, you're almost definitely a terrible person when you consider the hate they preach. Just from my own past, I used to be a hateful person, and the hate came from religion. I'd have no reason to hate the LGBT community if I hadn't been religious. I wouldn't have been even vaguely racist if not for religion. I wouldn't have hated people outside of my religious in-group if not for religion. Now, I'll admit, hate isn't exclusively a religious thing, but I want you to imagine just how much less hate there would be if religion had become a thing of the past. But those are just a few of the things religion takes from you. I'm wondering what everyone out there in YouTube land thinks. What's something that I missed that religion takes from you? Let me know down in the comments section below.